Thanks for joining me for another edition of This Broken Guitar. I'm Scott. People pay me a fair price to fix their guitars, and this one's gonna need some fixing. What happened is it ran into a doorknob, just a round, regular old interior doorknob. And by the way, this one is a Gibson J-15. It has a spruce top and I guess a walnut sides, and I think by the looks of it, it has walnut and fretboard and bridge. It's pretty nice figured stuff too. It's not too bad looking. Very nice indeed. I'm going to zoom in here. I've got a light inside the guitar. I've got a mirror down, sitting on the bottom inside of the guitar. And it looks like fangs. Anyways, I'll probably just reach in there and pull those out for now. Make a note of their orientation. Yeah, I'm pretty sure those are just going to have to be kind of pulled out. I can't even reach them. So this is going to be done in stages. In my first stage, I want to just line everything back up as they go back together. And I would just want to sparsely hold things back together. So I'm going to have to try some regular CA glue. Main thing is I don't want it to squeeze out to the inside. I'm going to end up sanding all this back so it wouldn't be terrible if it squeezed out on the outside here, but I don't want to create any kind of lumps on the inside because I can't really reach in there. I can't reach in there to clean it up. Well, that feels hard, and it stayed. So I'm going to continue the process with all little pieces, hold them in place with a single drop of CA glue. It's going to be this stuff right here, Loctite Gel, Ultra Gel, and a little shot of accelerator. This is the non-blushing accelerator. It works with all CA glues, dries clear, and it smells funny. But it's non-blushing, and that's the important part. Alright, now it's only been a few minutes. I've got most of the pieces in. These ones I haven't been able to fit in there just yet because it must have shrunk. I've got all these in, and I'll end up whittling down those last couple pieces and getting them in there. I have this piece of Lexan here that actually I had to get it quite hot with this Black & Decker on high. I mean, like, it was like burning hot to like get it to the point where I could get it into the shape of the side of the guitar, and I carefully measured. I actually had this little piece of paper that I stuck inside the guitar, and I looked in there with mirrors, and I have about 1/16 of an inch, maybe 1/8 of an inch wiggle room from kerfing to kerfing. I'm going to put it in there, and I'm going to hold it with magnets. And here we go. I actually have walnut. No need to sort through all the different stuff that I have. Whoop. This is a pretty thin piece. I think this whole concept, the glue is probably holding everything together, and the fact that I'm going cross grain. I'm making a plywood out of the side of the guitar now. I'm laminating a piece. The original guitar is bent this way, and the new piece is going in and it's going to bend this way. So different grains, kind of a plywood construction. 2-ply. And I'm going to use Titebond Original. When I was doing my test run with the piece of paper, I had to hold it between these two fingers and kind of flop it in place. And I think by muscle memory, about the third or fourth time that I tried it, I hit it right on the noggin. But if I get it in there and it needs a little shimmy, I've got this violin peg setting or soundpost setting tool. Yowza! Put a little extra charge on that magnet. There we go. Okay, so the first patch is in and cured and glued, and it's down here in this area. And I made up a new piece that's going to go like this up here to cover these other two cracks. I also made another caul that's not quite as bent as the first one because the radius changes from here to here. So this really got to heat this stuff up. And I got these new magnets. These came in the mail like, they are so seriously strong. I mean, I never knew magnets could be this strong. I wish I would have had them the day before because that would have clamped that down better. But anyways, for next time, these magnets scare me. They're so strong. Right here you can see both pieces of veneer. The big one that was patched in yesterday and the new one. And I'm still positioning the Lexan, and I can grab the magnet on the outside and kind of get it into position. I can actually reach in there and do that too. But I'm going to put the other magnet in there and let it set overnight, and it should be for a nice clean interior patchwork cleat. It's super strong already. Focus. Focus. Right here I slathered on a bunch of hot hide glue, try to get it down in to fill all the remaining cracks before I put in my epoxy putty. There was quite a few holes. Alright. I ended up taking some 120 grit sandpaper. This is the free cut gold sandpaper from Sumac. I'm trying to level it out some. Mostly this area. Something a little more flexible to get in these long cracks. I'm not trying to get it 100% level right now. I'm just going to try to work on the wood grain, and then I'll build the top coat up to get it as level as possible. But still, I'm not expecting to get 100% factory fresh level or color match. Just going to do the best I can. For this 120 grit, I'll do 220 and I'll start my color touch-ups. I think I actually need to put in a little more epoxy putty in a few areas too. Next, I load the guitar in the Proper's guitar workstation for ergonomic comforts. I sand the area with 220 grit. You can probably see that it's getting pretty smooth, but it's not butt smooth yet. It's not what I would call butt-ass smooth. Oh, it's lumpy. You can't see it, but it is lumpy. I'm going to wipe some fill and finish on it, try to level things out before I color. Got the Glu+boost accelerator on this paper towel.
got the Glu+boost Fill and Finish Thin on a paper towel. And this is a cheap paper towel. Don't want to use your Viva paper towels for this job. Could leave lint. And that wouldn't be good. Accelerator!
So the great thing about the workstation is now that I've filled this area and I'm ready to go to the next area, I can rotate. That way gravity and the self-leveling qualities of the fill and finish can work a little better. And I can adjust it to horizontal as I need.
Now I go at it with the file. This file is a pillar file. It's pretty smooth. Sandpaper put too many scratches.
What I ended up doing was mixing Mixol brown and just a dash of Mixol white, because the Mixol brown was a little bit dark. So that little Scotia white seems to be the color I'm going for. And not only does it seem to be a good color for this to go over the top of the epoxy putty, but there's a couple areas of dark streak right here that I think needs covered up. Right there. Alright, this is going to take me a while, but it'll eventually be all brown by the end of the day. And once I get past stage 1 with the light brown, I'll add some grain lines with the darker brown. So you can see here there's a variety of browns kind of all mixed in. I had lighter, darker. I just mixed it up. Now we gotta go over top of it with some stuff. I've given that shellac a couple hours to dry. Now I'm gonna use a little wipe-on poly as a barrier coat. Oh, I think my barrier coat goes on, real thin coat. A little bit of the color came off on there. No big deal, I'll be going over it again. And there it is. No, just kidding. There it is. But just kidding, guys. I'm not that good. You know I'm not that good. But alright, so what I did is I went in I did my grain lines, and then I did some coats of this stuff right here. Now this isn't stringed instrument lacquer, but it is nitro lacquer, furniture grade stuff. But it's really flat, and it's the perfect match for the existing finish. It's got the same sheen, you know what I mean? It's got the same sheen, if you know what I mean. It's got the same sheen. I put that tape on there to try to prevent overspray. So I'm going to peel the tape off, and I think I'm going to go with it. I like this. It's not too shabby. And before I forget, here's an update on the Martin Aura, the one that had the orange strap stains all over it. I French polished the back after scraping off the orange stuff, and it hasn't been buffed yet or anything. That's the oils coming up to the surface, the mineral oil and the stuff. I'll buff that off. Still working on the front. I finished up the area inside the cutaway. There might be a little coloring I still need to do in there. And I was saving the best part for last. That one. I'll get started with that this week. So yeah, I ended up drawing in those little dark grain lines with a real fine pen and a real fine paintbrush with my shellac, and then I just sprayed over top of it. Well, I did that one wipe coat with the wipe on poly before I did the small grain lines, and then I hit it with that ultra flow from Mohawk, and I guess she's ready to go home to her owner. Beautiful little J-15. Thanks for sticking around and watching. Appreciate you tuning in. Please remember to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time.